This is a tutorial on using Vim for everyday text editing. So I've just opened Vim. It was on my taskbar as somewhere I keep it in Windows 7, so I can just pop in anytime. We're using 7.3. I think that's the most recent version, but regardless, I don't see too many differences between the versions, at least for my needs. First of all, opening a file, I would open up Fuzzy Finder, which is :ff. So what happens is I get a buffer of all of my recently used text files, and I can just start typing in like the road to surf from you see down there. This list is huge, but I can start typing in and it'll filter down. But I want to do that this recipe here, so we're going to open that. Alright, so here's a little Indian food I was working on making. It's a very good dish. And let me just show you some of the common things that I would do with a text file like this. First of all, I would hit DD, and that would delete a line, and then if you hit P, it pastes it right under. So let me do that again. I just hit U, by the way, to undo all of my moves. So let me bring this up so you can see all the messages it's giving me. If I hit U and nothing's needs to change, it says it right there. So I hit DD, and this line is going to disappear, and then I'm going to put it right under 2 medium-sized tomatoes. I find this is probably something that I do most often. I don't know, it's just that or selecting and then cutting. So so that's called a cut, and that's a paste. And of course Vim has their own terminology for it, yank and put or something, because a Vim buffer is actually different from your regular buffer. However, with the vimrc that I have, you can just select like a regular text editor and hit Control-C or Command-C if you're in Mac, and then I can just paste those right there if I wanted. Okay, so we're just going back to the oldest changes here. Vim has 2 modes, so right now I'm in the normal mode, which means I can basically select text. I'm not in insert mode, which is when I hit I go into insert mode, and then I could just start writing. In normal mode, you would do something like select all of this text, and then you would delete it. So it's kind of convenient. It does take a little bit getting used to, but I'll just keep going through and showing you the different things that I use Vim for. First of all, there's different kinds of inserts. If I'm at eggplant right here and I want to insert at the end of the line, I would hit E and then A, and that means go to the end of the word and then insert after the word. If I wanted to insert right here, I would hit I, and it would insert right before the E, right before eggplant, and then I could start typing. So just to show you, here's EA, and now I'm typing right after. And then you get to insert right before. Here we go, before. You can navigate by using up and down, which is J and K. That navigates the line. Then I like to navigate horizontally by using the word skip, which is W or B. Okay, so I can go forward a word. See, I'm on green. Now it goes to chopped, red, bell, pepper. Same with B, goes back. Otherwise, you can use, what is it? H goes back, and I don't know, something goes forward. I don't ever use it. I just use words. I just use the word skip. You can also skip to the end of the line, to the end of the paragraph, to the end of the space, to the end of whatever. There's lots of different options. So check out the spell check right here. I don't know if this is actually going to correct because it's not a very common word, but first of all, to find the items that are misspelled, you hit smiley face and then S. It's the one facing to the right. You can see it in the buffer. Actually, it shows the bracket. It's the bracket S. Here we go. Let me. So bracket S, it's not smiley face, it's bracket S, and that'll go to the Next search result, if you hit the backward bracket, it goes to the previous one, and S. So forward bracket S, backward bracket S. So we're going to pull up the Asafita here, and if you put Z equals right on there, we're in normal mode, of course, it'll pull up a list of suggestions. Okay, so this is a bad example. So we're going to go to, we might just have to misspell our own word here, because I didn't put in like an Indian spelling list, so this is only, only misspelling those words. Let's just take out a G here. So I'm going to hit X right on top of that G. It just takes out a letter. Obviously we have a misspelling here, so I'm going to put Z equals right on here, and I just type in the letter that I want corresponding to the word there. So I want the number 1 word, and it replaces. So this is actually really addicting when you get used to it, because you just go through with bracket S, and correct your writing, and it's so much quicker than switching from your keyboard to your mouse and trying to do it that way. Now, however, you can, with GVim, you can, here, you can actually do that. I think you have to, there you go, change eggplant to, and it's the same suggestions. So cool part about Vim is that it gives you some grace if you don't know all the commands. There's a lot of shortcuts right here in the menus that really just get you over the basics. So, like I said, in my VimRC, which is linked to my blog at brainbreach.com, you'll be able to use copy and paste just as you would in any normal text editor. But a lot of cool things there, and you can change your color scheme instantly. I think which one am I using? Well, I don't know. I said it a while ago, and it's pretty. And I've been happy ever since. Okay, so, oops, I changed I don't want these changes to actually stick, so I'm going to undo those. And you can see right here in the buffer it says a plus sign, which means I've actually made changes and I need to save it. Okay, so in order to open up another tab, we put a shortcut in the VimRC, which is just Control-T, so it's the same with all the popular browsers too. This is just an open buffer, which means that it doesn't have a name yet, so I'd have to either do the :W and then put the name in here, and then I would save it to wherever my root folder is, or I would just do the save as right here, and then it brings up the actual menu, which is really convenient, because you don't have to always be stuck in using commands, and sometimes it's nice to go back and forth. If you just don't have the command top of mind, they don't stick in my mind very well. So okay, so we're going to close this buffer. I'm going to do that with :Q, and you can see we're back to one tab now. Okay, so some other cool little nifty things here. We want to delete a word. I already showed you how to delete a line, which is DD, the whole line. And then delete a word is it's DW. So I'll go ahead and go to that word that I want to delete and hit DW. So what you're doing by hitting D is you're saying I'm going to delete, and so the D is showing up over here, and then you basically select the scope. So I can select the end of the line, the end of the paragraph, the end of the word, and it'll delete that. So remember I told you that W navigates to the end of the word, so all I'm doing is saying delete to the end of the word, so DW. So it's not like you have to learn 200 commands in rote memory. They do add on to each other, and they complement each other. So there's just a lot of power once it begins to soak into your brain. Another little item that I use is the shift tilde. Well, it's actually the tilde, which is on the left of 1. You have to shift to get to it, and you can see I'll do that here on the E, and it just changes the case. So whatever case we're on, it's going to change the case and go to the next one. So if you accidentally did caps lock on everything, you would just go through it all and go like that. Or lots of times at the beginning of sentences I just forget to capitalize, so I'll go through and I'll just hit it. Of course that was already capitalized, so it went to the opposite. Okay, now actually navigating a page, I use a few basic moves here. First is J and K, which goes up by a line, which is K, or down by a line, which is J. So that's useful when when you see something in your window, you want to get to it quickly. Another useful way to navigate is forward and back. Hold on, I'm having a weird time saying this and doing it. So, and the way you do that is Control F or B. So Control forward or back. So if I'm up here and I hit Control forward, I go to the whole next page. So you can see one tablespoon of cumin is at the bottom, and then there we go. We're right. Actually, this was what happened actually? 18. Yeah, so it went 2 lines above it. So it gives you a little bit of playroom at the top there. And just so you know, I have remapped my control key to a caps lock key. I've done that with there's a program called Sharp Keys. That's for Windows, and then if you're on Linux, it's just real easy because you just go into your menu and select it there. Quick remap. Okay, so there's kind of the basics. I'm sure I'm forgetting some really basic stuff. Oh, like here, search. I wanted to hit this before we went on. Let's say I'm looking for the word cookie. I do a / and just start spelling. Now, in our vimrc, we made it a bit more generic and easy to use, so that it's not case sensitive and things like that. So let's just do eggplant, since there's quite a few instances of that. So what happens is, you can see down here I've selected eggplant. I already hit enter, and it says, well, we're looking for that right now. So if I hit the letter N, it goes to the next occurrence of eggplant. So I just went here, and now I went there, and I hit N again, and it's just going to go all throughout this buffer, and it's going to cycle all the way through the top. Really useful feature, because you can use that inside of commands. So you can then say, you know, search for eggplant, but then replace it with, or fix the case on, you know, various things like that. The cool part about Vim is that you've not only learned a tool that works on Windows, but you've learned a tool that works on Windows and Mac. So I have here a file open on my server. So let's say I'm over. Here we go. I just pull up this command, you know, sudo vim, if you need the sudo permission, and you can pull up any config file that you have. And of course, people like to use other editors like VI if you're lame, Joe, Nano. I love Vim because I use it on Windows, and the commands are just the same here because I've made sure that my vimrc works cross-platform. So I can navigate just the same, I can select the same. The only differences are when you want to copy in and out of the buffer, you have to, you know, this is still within a console, so you have to treat it as such. We have a quick little shortcut. F7 turns on spell check, and then F6 turns on line numbering. It turns it on or off. So the cool part is it does that the same way over on Windows. So there's F6 and there's F7. So those little things, they just help to make your life that much smoother, and we can all use that. So if I wanted to take out, you know, I don't want to enable cache hosts, or wait, I do. Well, anyways, I just want to get rid of this line. It's the same thing, DD, and then if I want to change that to yes, I would do delete the word. Oh, I haven't told you that. Yes, I have. I haven't told you change word, which is just CW, and then I'm already in insert mode, so it saves me one click, and then I would just put in yes. So once again, that was I hit CW, and I'm just already in insert mode, and I replaced the word. So then I hit U, of course, to go back and to my original changes, and then I hit colon Q. I'm out of the buffer. Also, if you're in Vim, it's kind of convenient. Like any terminal program, you can hit Control Z and you can move over to your other items, but if you want to get back in there, you can also have different files open in tabs. I just hit Control T and you can see my tab here has no name. And then I would hit E, that's the open command with Vim, and I would navigate, to that file. Something, or I can actually do, so there you go, I could do name completion with tab inside of Vim. Also, this does have fuzzy finder the same way as my Windows copy does. So it's just hard to beat Vim. I mean, it's just so powerful for manipulating text. I can't beat it. So there you go. There's my little love affair with Vim.